Hey, it's your girl, Claudia Jordan. It's Thursday, and we are back with TGIF. We're here to spill the tea and break down the biggest headlines in the news and on social media. So sit back, relax, and get ready for this very hot tea. Let me introduce my very dapper co-host tonight, who are color coordinated, Al Reynolds and Funky. Look at y'all in the blue.
Claudia.
Y'all look good.
We all look good today. We are color coordinated. This is ESP. TEA-GIF thing we got going on. I can't explain it.
Is that one of the 100 shirts that you just got out of the dry cleaners?
It is. It is about 100 more of them up there.
Who has a rack of clothes like you lined up at the dry cleaners and you had more? They couldn't put everything on that one rack.
Yes, they only gave me half my order. Well,
what was that bill?
What was that bill?
What was the bill?
Let me tell you something. So a lot of hundreds of dollars right now. I haven't taken clothes to the dry cleaners in about 20 years. I thought dry cleaning was like $2.50 a shirt, $3 for pants. They have an app, and on the app, I saw every two pieces is ranging anywhere from $17 to $31, depending on the pieces. So I know that this dry cleaning bill is easily going to be $700 to $1,000.
Oh, you need to dump them.
That's a lot of money. Is this in the washer?
So you know what it is, and y'all are gonna laugh at me. The stuff is actually fast fashion, most of it, but it's just I got so tired of washing the stuff from like Zara and then it shrink or fade because they're pieces that I actually like, and I look good in them. So a friend was like, "Why don't you just dry clean them?" But I'm gonna have to take them to a hood dry cleaner because I just went to the first one that I saw on my street, and that must be where the rich people in mansions take their drapes and their curtains or something because this is too high.
Hey, I want to say this: is us wearing blue? Is this like a subconscious apology to the Zetas?
Oh, you know what? You messy.
You want to start this shit first thing in the morning.
She is messy.
No, I'm saying this is an olive branch to the sisters.
Ooh, you messy.
Did you get any backlash?
I didn't get any direct messages, actually. I didn't have a chance to look at the playback, so I'm sure there's some comments in there, but I didn't get any direct messages like I usually do, which is, I think, a pretty good thing because maybe they kind of understood what I was trying to say.
Or they on vacation, or they working out, they didn't get a chance to look, or they busy kidnapping people like you said.
According to Al, right? And locking people up in cages.
Well, this is our olive branch from FOXSOUL to the sisters, a beautiful and strong sisters.
Z5B.
Z5B.
Yeah.
What are we saying?
Let's leave it alone.
Yeah.
Are y'all drinking tonight?
Not after last night.
Nope.
All right, let's get into the topics. Little Yachty is receiving backlash after he seemed to dismiss Sexyy Red opening up about being raped. Little Yachty asked, "Can you tell us like the craziest thing that's ever happened to you?" Sexyy Red revealed that she got raped before. Lil Yachty and his co-host exchanged awkward looks before laughing and suggesting she tell them something a little less awkward. Now, Sexyy Red then revealed she had been shot, and then they approved of that, I guess. Oh, that's what we're talking about. Do you think this was insensitive, or what do you think about this? Al, let's go to you first.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's insensitive, but think about who she's talking to. She's talking to young men, right, that have been watching her sexualize her brand, and so to them it didn't mean anything. The sad fact is here that it's 1 out of 4 Black girls experience sexual abuse by the age of 18, and more than 20% of those Black women are raped. And let's not talk about the ones that don't come forward. For every one that comes forward, they say 15 stay silent. So of course this is really insensitive, but at the same time, it goes to show you how in the music industry, especially in these younger generation, how it really doesn't mean anything to them. They are desensitized to this, and especially desensitized to it from someone whose brand is a very sexually, vulgarly sexual brand.
And just a note, the podcast is actually called Safe Space. So maybe she thought that was a place she could. Q, what do you think about this?
You want to know what's so funny? I think that they're too stupid and mentally immature to purposely be insensitive. What I got from it was whoa, bitch, don't kill my vibe. We didn't mean for you to tell us nothing that deep. Like, we meant for you to tell us something superficial. That's how I perceived it. I don't think they're smart enough to intentionally be insensitive, to be quite honest.
This just goes to show me, like, I see a lot of people complaining, like, look, they need to raise the price of podcasting equipment because everybody got a podcast. Everybody think they're equipped to do it. Now, you might have the equipment, but you might not have the equipment to do it. If your show is called Safe Space and a guest come on, you should probably be a little bit more prepared for those types of things. And even if she's a sexual being, that's very often the types of people that are sexually abused, that have been victims of rape, that have been victims of molestation, that usually shows itself in that kind of behavior. You don't just wake up and say, oh, I want to talk about my booty hole and getting fucked all the time. You know what I mean? So right. I just think that they both made a mistake. She, by thinking she was with people that were had the depth to handle that subject matter, and them having a podcast and not being ready for that kind of response,
Claudia, no, you are 100% wrong. They have already spoken and told us that we are old, we are out of touch, we don't know what we're talking about, and we are to let them have their thing. So no, that is on brand with their age bracket, Claudia, and you are speaking like someone who has sense, okay? And we are old, and we are supposed to stay out of young people business. So
Beauty Budgetina said, phew, definitely explains the promiscuity. Hope she can get the help instead of being preyed on. And PRT Diva said, they laughed because no one takes Black women seriously, so they laughed. Martell said, I don't think they were being insensitive. I think they just knew what their audience was, so they catered to the audience. That too. Yeah, like Funky said. All right, moving on. 12-year-old Tashawn Bernard is speaking out after being wrongfully detained by Michigan police while taking out the trash. Tashawn said, when it happened, I was really shocked and frightened about it, like the situation and how it happens. And right now I'm feeling just the same way, like just really shocked how it came to this circumstance of what's going on. Funky, let's start with you. Can you believe this? Take it out.
No, I can't. And there's another story I saw earlier today where police detained a 10-year-old for peeing outside behind his car. That child's face is too baby-faced for you to be detaining him. And I don't know what it is with these police officers. Back in the 90s and the 2000s, we didn't used to hear about children being put in handcuffs. That stuff is very traumatizing to a child. When you see a child with a baby face like that, unless he's wielding a weapon covered with blood or neighbors identify him as the one who shot up the old lady at the bodega, what happened to stopping them and talking to them or saying, young man, where are your parents? I want to walk with you to your parents' house. Why are we so handcuff happy to put these young children in handcuffs? It's horrible. And I don't want to live in a world where adults cannot treat children as such. I don't want to live in that world.
Well, it seems they're able to do it when the kid's white. I mean, we have shooters that killed a bunch of people at the church and they get taken to Burger King, but a young kid, a Black kid, is like instantly treated as a predator and a menace to society. Now, the arresting officer said Tashawn fit the description, that's what they always say, right, of a car theft suspect at the time. Al, what are your thoughts?
Well, it's interesting that they said that. I actually saw the picture of the other suspect, and I think the only thing that I thought was similar maybe would have been the clothes, but it wasn't in the area. So that's the part that really confuses me. My expectation is that if you are a trained police officer, you need to exercise some critical thinking. You saw the dad came outside. You saw the kid was innocently dumping the trash. There was a different way to handle this. 8 cop cars pulled up on this situation and over 20 cop police showed up. That young man, like you said, is going to be traumatized, and traumatized because of what? They couldn't find a better way to check to see if it was the same person. And also, what was the purpose of all the cars? I myself, watching that video, became extremely stressed out. Now, I'm a viewer, stressed out about black boys getting hurt. Can you imagine what he was going to? And then they wonder why we feel like this doesn't perpetuate the harmful, the shameful, the discriminatory acts that they are used to doing that we are well too familiar of. This has got to stop. I mean, and where does it start, right? It's got to stop, but where does it start? Because it keeps happening over and over, and especially in our community. It's just not right.
R. Barnes 926 said, I was pissed when Whitefish put the young Black boy in the police car, traumatizing even more, oh heifer. Nola Kirby Girl said they can't think for themselves and they got to meet a quota. And Project Paula said they don't care about these Black kids. It seems like they get off on this, like it's fun. I mean, if you think about it, the origin of the police was slave catchers, you know, return them back as runaway property. So I think they carry that spirit to this day.
I just want to know, at what point does your manhood or your policing trump you being a man? As a man, I could not put a kid in handcuffs. As a dad, as an uncle, I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
Right.
Except them kids on the bus beating up the bus driver.
Except them kids. Now I beat the shit out of them kids. Kids on the bus and kids in the classroom, them different kind of kids. But kids,
why couldn't they sit him on the curb, standing beside his dad while they check the facts? Why couldn't they do that? Why did they all have to surround him, handcuff him, and put him in a police car? There's no procedure for that. We've seen it 100 times before. We've seen cops allow other people walk them to a destination and then they take off running. Why couldn't they sit this kid down on the sidewalk with his dad so that he can feel safe while they double check everything? This is what I'm talking about. I think they would have exercised this if it wasn't a young Black kid.
That's why we really got to show respect to the predominantly Black police officers in the Montgomery brawl. They saw people engage in a fight and were able to de-escalate and just handle it later with misdemeanor charges. And they worried about it. No one got hurt. No one got killed. This is the kind of situation that just can be escalated without using their brain, I think.
Right. And Al, not to belabor the point, there's one last comment. You said all those police officers pulled up. As they were pulling up and saw that the situation was handled, why didn't they keep driving?
Right, or back man down.
It's fun for them, y'all. It is a hobby.
But I think when things like this happen, the police chief needs to get in trouble. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he needs to get in trouble. Why are your officers, 20 officers at a controlled scene?
Right.
All that does is get everybody riled up. And then it's like they almost dare you to do something because you're going to be riled up. All right, y'all, get ready for this Hollywood breakup alert. Poor Britney Spears. Her and her husband, Sam Asghari, have separated amid allegations of infidelity. Sam confronted Britney over the rumor she stepped out on him. Sam has allegedly moved out of the house, and the pair seem to be heading towards divorce. Does this split surprise you? And remember, we here at TJF are really campaigning for her to get out of her conservatorship.
Not me, girl.
Not me. I was saying.
I thought Al did, didn't you?
I said she needed it. Because I got a whole bunch of Britney's fans that were riding me for a long time for this. Let me tell you, this is just so sad because he's saying she cheated on him. So if she cheated on him, that gives him the power to even the attorneys are saying that they're going to contest the prenup. The husband is threatened to go public with some extraordinarily embarrassing info and content of Britney that he said would ruin her career. And look, she just put a stripper pole in the middle of her living room, and now she's stripping, spreading her leg wide open, getting plies, all excited. I don't know what Britney is going through, but this ain't looking good for her. And I hate to say this, but if it is true what he's saying she did, not only the cheating part, but the other part that's supposed to be extraordinarily incriminating, Britney needs her family or somebody around her immediately. She needs help again, guys.
Someone in the chat said, Princess said Plies caused it. It's not Plies' fault, y'all. Hugh, what do you think?
I don't think she did it. I think the heifer too batshit crazy, twirling around in her living room in sixth grader panties in order to be cheating. First of all, and I hate to be vulgar, Britney Coochie ain't even big enough for her to cheat, okay? You see them little small little panties she be having on, it ain't even got no meat on it. Who she cheating with? Those is third grade panties that girl got on. She damn sure ain't cheating with no grown man. That's number one. Number two, that woman just happy to have an iPad and a stripper pole and access to a radio, yet alone a dick, okay? She is not cheating on that man. And number three, even if Britney Spears does cheat on you and you got access to her debit card, you do not leave, okay? You do not leave. This was a money grab and a scheme that Todd set up from the very beginning. See, Todd set this up. This was a scheme that Todd set up to come to us with the bullshit, okay?
Candy.
Y'all know how to, come on, everybody knows.
Allegedly he was vetted. He was vetted by her attorney. He was vetted by her management. He was vetted by her close friends in the inner circle. So are you saying all of her quote?
Now, what does vetted mean? Do you have my friend's best interest in heart? Yes, I do. Do you promise to love and protect her? Yes, I do. I mean, come on, what are we vetted? This is not a job where we're trying to figure out if he embezzled money from his last company. Vetted, yeah, he was vetted and gave all the right answers.
So what is she supposed to do? She fell in love with a man. What happened?
I think it was a scheme from the get. Listen. What person over the age of 25 who is not a part of the Alvin Ailey dance troupe or Lion King on Ice want somebody twirling around the goddamn living room all day long, okay? That man wasn't in love with her. He was in love of the idea of getting his hands on her money.
Adventures with V said the marriage was just an extension of their conservatorship. They've been together for years. I don't know about that.
Yeah, they were together for years.
The way that she's been looking and behaving crazy, off her rocker. Here's this good-looking man that comes around. I, too, in my opinion, think that it was on some money grab. Let me just buy my time and see if I get that Kevin Federline treatment. And then the fact is, okay, if she cheated on you and you have proof of that, that's enough, sir. You don't need to release embarrassing things about your wife. I hate when people do that. When you are married to someone and you're going to have pillow talk, you're going to have access to them in their very worst state. For you to use that as a threat, I think that's fucked up.
Because you never loved her. You never loved her. You don't do that to somebody that you love, somebody who has. Why would you want to ruin her career? Why would you want to do that? Even if she did cheat, you take your divorce, you take your whatever, and you leave peacefully.
Yeah, the cheating should be enough. You don't need to put the little extra thing, 10 on 20. All right. Of course, the fans are talking about, it's because of Plies, because of his recent flirting. Sam is threatening to release embarrassing details. And I wonder what that is, but that really should not. But that's some whack-ass, hoe-ass shit to do to your wife. All right. Stick to what, the cheating part. Coming up next, we're talking about the different topics that got us saying, not me, girl. And later, a thief gets caught stealing from babies. Q, I know you're going to like this because you ain't really fucking with kids. Keep it here. We'll be right back. Welcome back to TGIF. If you're in the chat, go ahead and hit that like button for us real quick. All right, listen, we pretty much hear crazy news stories, pretty much every day. And this next set of topics got us saying, I'm not going to bother saying it, Q.
Not me, girl. Not me, girl.
Every time a man revealed that he keeps a photo in his office of his ex-fiance who tragically died several years ago. Well, his current wife is demanding that he remove the photo, but he is refusing. Would you understand if your spouse kept a photo of their deceased ex-lover, or is it a not me girl, Al?
I understand. I have one of my ex in my photos that are up in the gallery, and in this case it's ridiculous. His ex died a tragic death. She's not alive anymore, and it's in a group photo. They're in a group photo with all his friends from that time period in his life. I think she needs to extend some grace here and understand that he was completely 100% happy with his wife before the tragic death, and that she's an extension of that, right? Of him rebuilding and trying to get over his wife. So I don't think there's anything wrong with him having a memory of her, or keepsakes, if you would, of her in a group setting. It's not like it's a mural. It's not like it's a big picture in their home. It's at his job.
Okay, cute.
Wouldn't mind, child. I walk past. If I was her, I'd walk past that picture every day and say, "He's mine. You may have had him once, but I got him all the time." The man is dead. You got to have your self-esteem and your self-love or confidence has got to be in the damn toilet for you to be pressed about a dead woman. Like, what do you think he's going to go do? Find the Haitian woo lady and conjure her spirit and go on a date with her from the dead? You know what I'm saying? Now, I can get if you're a little insecure, feeling like, damn, can I measure up to her? You know, what does she have that I don't? But I would quickly shake those feelings, because whether you measure up to her or not, the heifer is dead. You won by default, but you won.
I am not the type of person that just because a relationship ended that I delete you from my life just to make the new person feel comfortable. Because guess what, new person, you probably won't be around forever either. Like, think about it. If you're single right now, you've broken up with every single person you've been with before, or you lost them somehow, right? I'm not the type that deletes people off my Instagram. If you're my boyfriend 5 years ago, he's still up there. It's part of my story. Taking the picture down does not make the person have never existed in that person's life. And actually, I think you should want a person that says, hey, that person meant something for a time in my life, and I'm not going to just delete them like they never existed, like I'm not going to do to you if we break up. I like people that, as long as it's not obsessive, like you ain't like smelling her old clothes and stuff like that, but a picture, girl, relax. And it's a group shot, not like a kissing romantic picture. I think she's tripping. I really do.
Yep.
On the other hand, a man is struggling with whether or not to fulfill one of his dying wife's last wishes, which is for her to have sex with one of her exes. Would you grant your spouse this dying wish? Like if they said, listen, I'm dying. Before I die, I want to be with my ex one more time. Or is it not me, girl? Cute?
Not me, girl. No. No. Because all things constant, had you not been dying, I don't know. It's just something about feeling like you've been wanting to screw him, independent of you dying or not. And that's why you're making it a dying wish. All things constant, you married me, and there should have been a period at the end of that sentence. And I am who you are supposed to die with, die loving, die feeling, and set off in the sunset. And what you're not about to do is play on my intelligence, my emotions, or leverage your death to do something like that. I also believe in sacrifice, and I understand that you're dying, but you need to understand that you're leaving me behind as well. And I'm already getting ready to suffer a major loss in your absence. Don't compound that by doing this to me.
And shouldn't you want to be with your loved one more time before you die? And that's the motherfucker that broke up with you like prior. I think that's so selfish. Al, what do you think? Would you?
I say hell no, unless I get to participate. Now, if we're gonna do a threesome, we're gonna work this threesome out because this is your last wish. Then maybe we can figure something out. But after we learn more, right? Because this couple had been together for 10 years. The doctor told her she had 9 months to live. So she actually told her husband, she said, mentally and emotionally, you satisfy all my needs. But in all honesty, physically, he just does a better job at it. The fact that she told him that, I would say hell no, because that means I would be so upset. I would be like, you need to move in with him then. He needs to take care of you these last 9 months when you're on your deathbed, and he needs to go ahead and pay for the transition of you going on to wherever the glory is that you're going, because that's just creating a toxic environment for the balance of their relationship.
Who is this savage woman? You know how hard it is to tell a guy he's not that good of a lover and someone else is better, and then to add insult to injury, say, I got 9 months to live and your dick ain't really hitting like it should, and I don't want to go out with the last 10 years of my life with some whack ass subpart sex. Although you've been a great man in all other areas, she should have, like, to leave this on your man's conscience. Like, if when you die, he got to remember this. She should have. This is a time a white lie would have been okay.
I was going to say,
psychologists say that during your death, when you're experiencing death, you're at the end of the road, you actually become very, very honest, brutally honest. And allegedly, she just was being brutally honest. She was telling him exactly how she felt.
He didn't even know.
He didn't
that.
have to live with the consequences. That's why.
Right.
He should have went and go fuck the old boy, came home in a good mood, and not have that guy think.
I agree.
Wait, Claudia, are you talking from experience?
I ain't dying, not me, girl.
No, but I'm with you, Claudia. That's literally what I was about to say. She should have just went and did it.
Yeah.
I'm of the firm belief that when you love somebody, we think loving somebody means we have to be honest all the time. And not if that honesty is going to hurt the person. Your job sometimes in loving me is also to protect me.
And guess what, y'all? Even if she don't go screw the other guy, the husband is still left knowing I never really satisfies you.
Right, exactly.
That's mean. I think that's so mean to do to your man.
I put that bitch in a convalescent home. I would. To tell him to come over here and wipe your ass.
What if she goes and fucks him and then something happens where she pulls through? She doesn't die.
Oh,
That's cool. All right. A mother shared that her daughter does not want any of her family at her wedding due to her fiance not liking her family. The daughter still wants her father to walk her down the aisle, but he must leave immediately after. Oh my God. Are you gonna like X out your family out of your wedding if your fiance doesn't like them, or is it a not me girl, Al?
This is definitely a not me, but guys, are y'all listening to this story? Isn't this a classic domestic abuse perpetrator? Remember, the first thing that you're supposed to do is isolate the victim from their family at the most extreme way. I think she's either currently dealing with or there's some pending domestic abuse on the horizon here. Because what would be the purpose of completely cutting off everybody, every cousin, aunt, uncle, parent? Like, what's really going on here? I got red flags going up all over on this one.
You?
It's definitely a not me girl. I could understand if she had issues with her family. Oh, I hate my family. My mom was horrible. My dad was horrible. But you're Xing your family out because he wants to. But then you got the nerve to add insult to injury and be selfish. I want my dad to walk me down the aisle so I can fulfill that part of the fantasy, but then he needs to hurry up and leave so I can please my husband. And what happens when, this husband, God forbid, leaves you, dies, or so on and so forth? You're going to need your family. But see, her family is better than I'd ever be, because you wouldn't have to worry about not inviting me, and you damn sure wouldn't have to worry about me walking you down the aisle. I catch one iota of an earful of this, and I'm going to help you out. I'm going to disinvite myself to your wedding, and I'm going to divorce you from my life.
It's definitely a not me girl for me, unless she told the husband, the fiance, I was molested, my dad did this to me, my mom did this to me, and then you've been hearing it for years. You're like, fuck that, I don't want to see those people. That's the only way this is okay. Everything else is given what Al said and y'all said. It is definitely mental abuse, domestic violence is on the horizon. That is your future, girlfriend. Mm-hmm. I wish a motherfucker would tell me, your dad walks down the aisle, then he got to leave. And that is some savages. We got some savage women tonight we talking about.
That's not even right.
I want to see what she looked like. Because her self-esteem has got to be in the toilet to want a man this bad and choose a man over your family.
And also, doesn't the woman supposed to pay for the wedding? I wish I would pay for a wedding and my family can't be a part of it. I wish I would, as a dad, pay for that wedding and I can't walk my daughter. After I walk my daughter down the aisle, I got to exit the church. Heck no.
Well, the chat is all on our side. They're all saying, not me, girl. They're throwing red flags in there. Afro Sensible Sister says, red flags all day. Kia S says, not me, girl. Control at its best. All right, great segment. Coming up next, a thief gets caught stealing from babies. And later, we're taking a look at past trending headlines and see how they've evolved, if they have. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back to TGIF. Before we get to the next story, I just want to address the chat real quick because Q, they wanted to know something. Julia Brown said, I want to know about Q escorting his nephew on his first day of school. We saw that.
Oh my God, guys, listen. So everybody knows Isaac is my heart. It's the closest thing to parenthood I'll probably ever get to. My sister's a single mom. I step into the gap. I am Isaac's father, uncle. There's a lot of moments that you parents have that I never thought I'd have. But this morning I got to partake in what it's like to take your kid to kindergarten for the first time and go to the class and like be leaving them. And while I didn't cry at the school, I teared up when I got in the car. I don't know, there was just a sense of proudness that came over me because, again, Isaac's father's not in the picture. So just, for one, it felt good to stand in the gap and be there for him. And then just to get those small little parenthood moments that I ordinarily wouldn't get felt amazing. I brought the office staff 2 dozen donuts and coffee this morning. And then I brought $200 in gift cards so the teacher could get some supplies for the classroom. And then I came back and brought the office staff 12 chicken Caesar salads from Boston Market or whatever, so they could look out for my baby. Okay.
That's like a little bribery.
Okay. Yeah, just a little bribery, but no, I just, I did it because I want the school to know that I am an active parent. I will be there. I will be at the meetings. If the classroom needs office school supplies, I will be providing school supplies. And I'm looking forward to chaperoning on field trips and handing out pizza to all the little children.
Very nice. River Rainwater said, baby Isaac growing up. Very cute.
Yeah.
You can tell one of them step on his foot and then he gonna beat him up.
Now, if your kids be rude
tell one
to
of them
me,
steal something out of his car and did it.
if your kids be rude to me, I'm liable to fight one of their asses because I can't stand no mannish and no grown-ass kids, especially no little ones. I might deal with a little sass from a high schooler, but I ain't dealing with no shit from no little elementary age children.
This the cue I know right here.
Hey, look at that beautiful moment just went left. It was beautiful for like 30 seconds. It was beautiful. All right, y'all. Essex police are investigating several reports of a man going around snatching pacifiers from the mouths of babies. 4 incidents have been reported so far, and 1 baby was also assaulted. Police are still on the hunt for the suspect. Well, let's throw it back to Q since he's known to want to fight a kid. What do you think about this, Q?
I think somebody need to shoot the shit out of him. Now, I fight kids and children, but that does not encompass babies. All right. And you both that don't encompass children and kids. Okay. You can fight, but babies, you have to leave alone. And for why? And I'm pretty sure Al gonna have some type of condition in the medical journal that this is called when you go around bothering babies. What type of kick are you getting out of this? And obviously you're some type of serial crazy person because enough cases of this has happened for the law to take note. Al, what's this condition?
I know, right? I've been looking all day to see what this condition is. I do have an update though. The guy was arrested. He was arrested on Monday. His name is Josh Galder, and he's 24 years old. And obviously he has some type of obsession, not only with kids, but with young children. He's been charged with 5 counts of theft, 3 counts of common assault, and 1 count of police order offense. So way to go, police, for finding this young man, because he was not arrested until Monday.
Claudia, let me get one soulmate together real quick. Lauren Wu talking about wasn't in Florida, and it was not. Miss Wu, thank you very much. Don't come for us.
Let's not act like y'all don't be doing way worse shit.
We classy, baby.
Keeping your animals on drugs.
And school is back in. And in Florida, we have standards. We don't mess with children. Okay? We don't mess with babies in Florida. That's not a Florida thing.
We're gonna leave that right there.
Right, we're gonna let him lie. Nafenda said, how do you get close enough to even do that? Yeah, and what are you gonna do with them? Do you suck on them? Do you smell them? Like, what the hell is wrong with you people? All right. A library in British Columbia received a book that was finally returned after being overdue for 86 years. Now, the book was checked out in 1937. The library said the patron will not have to worry about late fees. Have y'all ever been late returning something that you borrowed, Al?
Man, this library thing was always an issue for me. My library books were always late. always late. But, you know, that was because I like to read. But did you know that this particular case, this man kept the book out because he didn't want to pay his fine? So the library just decided in 2022, at the end of the year of 2022, that they were going to do away with having fines for outdated books or overdue books. So after he found out he didn't have to pay the fine anymore, he finally turned the book back in. Now, as if that wasn't enough, don't you know, just this past July, a library in Massachusetts had a book returned to them that was 120 years past due. Can you believe that?
Oh,
No.
It's wild. Like, what? Just buy a new goddamn book. Like, what is it? Like $40 for a book?
Here's the funny thing. I'm not believing any of it, right? Because if the book was 86 years old, okay, that means the man, if we start from day zero of his birth, is at least 86 years old. Mm-hmm. Add on the age he had to be in order to be conscious enough to check out a book. He's 100 and something years old right now. He's like, come on, I'm not buying that. And the one that was 120 years old, I refuse to believe that there is a library anywhere in existence right now that still has a database that contains the record of a book that's 120 something years old. I'm sorry.
That particular book had the sleeve. You remember back in the day?
Sleeve, yeah.
So that particular book, the one that was 120 years old, obviously, from what I heard, allegedly, it was a family member was cleaning out the good, you know, someone had passed, I think like a grandparent or something, and they were going through all his books and stuff, and they looked at it and realized that it was the property of a library.
So they had, you think they had libraries in 1890 and that library was still open? And with all of now, we don't went through budget cuts, the Great Depression, the Great Migration, World War I, II, and Donald Trump was 3. We don't went through the plague, coronavirus, Hurricane Andrew, Sandy, Wilma, and Katrina. We don't went through gerrymandering.
I'm so glad that book.
Redistricting. Hold on, I ain't finished. Redistricting the schools. Pan Am Airlines done closed. Okay, Jordan Marsh is no longer in existence. Woolworth don't went out of business. All these things don't happen. And this library is still open.
Good point. All right, Joe. Keep it locked because coming up next, we're taking a look past trending past headlines and how they evolved. And later, is it okay to cheat on vacation? We'll be right back. Welcome back. Soulmates, do you ever think about past trending headlines and wonder how have they evolved or whatever happened to them? Well, we're going to revisit them in a segment we like to call Tea Back Thursday. Those bumpers be making me laugh. I don't know why. All right. Remember a while back when Doja Cat fans started growing concern for the rapper due to her strange posts and behaviors? Well, it looks like Doja Cat has lost a significant amount of followers because of it. Doja Cat said, "It feels like I can reconnect with the people who really matter and who love me for who I am and not for who I was. I feel free." Do you think she has the right mindset here? Or what do you think about this? She lost over 500,000 followers in one day. Al, what do you think?
I don't know. She has 23 million followers. What? I don't get this whole thing. Maybe because you guys have been in the game longer, been on social media longer, maybe you guys can give me some insight. What exactly is she saying here?
Well, she said something about she doesn't love her fans, right? Then she said something like that, cute, like, you don't love us. She's like, she basically was like, I don't love y'all. Like, I don't really know y'all. I don't know her. She hit them with the, with the Mariah. So she's been doing a lot of weird shit lately, though, like shaving off her eyebrows, these weird pictures. Q, what do you think about this?
Here's the thing, guys, and this is coming from somebody who makes their income in the social media space and has done it for 13 plus years at this point. The number of followers is truly a superficial number that really does not translate to anything. I mean, at the point in which she has 23 million, at the point in which she has 1 million, the brand deals are going to be the brand deals. The reach is going to be the reach. the fact that she lost $500,000 really translates to a hill of jelly beans. It doesn't mean anything in real life. Like, her check's not going to be any shorter. You know, the people that advertise with her are not going to be like, she doesn't have any advertising power in the industry. And because here's the funny thing, what I found out, they may have unfollowed, but they're still going to her page. They may have unfollowed, but they're still consuming her music. People, you know, they get mad with me all the time and do this. I'm going to unfollow you. And I just laugh because, bitch, I don't make my money off of follows. I make it off of views. So just as long as you continue watching the video or you continue watching my content, which they do, the amount of followers really doesn't mean anything.
And in this society, there's an argument to be made that she may lose $500,000, but 2 million more might be. Well, let me go see what she's talking about, because now we're talking about her. Lady T says, I think she sold her soul to the damn devil.
You know, I got a question we're going to explore for a second. When people say things like sold your soul to the devil, where do you go to do this transaction at?
Right. And how do you, what payment does he accept? How does he accept payment? How do you sign up? Yeah.
The Illuminati. You know, like, what the applications look like? Because Tokyo Tony claims she got one, but that's
they
another
don't want no Tokyo. They want Illuminati. All right. Do y'all remember the tan mom who went viral for taking her 12-year-old to a tanning salon in New Jersey back in 2012? Jesus Christ, she's ugly. Oh my God. Well, she's now making waves in Florida as she plans to run for U.S. Senate. Do you think this could actually go somewhere? I mean, 10 years ago, I'd say no, but nowadays I'll say maybe, because our society's so fucked up with what we like. Q, this is your neck of the woods. What you think?
Listen, that last picture they showed her, she looked classy, based and consistent with what's going on down here in Boca Raton. Look at her.
Didn't she get accused of child endangerment?
For taking her daughter to the tanning bed? Don't listen. That was 10 years ago. Don't judge that lady from her past. She don't live there no more. Okay, a lot can change in 10 years. I might have wanted to kill the child 10 years ago, but I might have fell in love with their ass a decade later. It's ebbs and flows. Just like marriages have ebbs and flows, loving your children have ebbs and flows. And from the look of the fact that she no longer look as orange as a cardboard box, I'm willing to say she on her meds. She got her life together. She got her nice necklace on, her side pony. Let that lady run for government. Hell, it can't be no worse than what the hell we already got.
That woman looked confused as hell. Show that picture again. See, this is what happened when you lose for Donald Trump, could bring Escher and all these people. When you lose all the seriousness, the dignity, or the sacredness in American politics. This is an example. This is as alarming as watching Kanye West run for president. I have got to draw the line somewhere. Inviting a viral star into politics to run and rule and lead is not the ticket. And she's from Florida. You guys know she crazy. She got to be crazy. The only positive thing about this woman is her running ticket is to increase or decrease DeSantis's attack against the LGBTQ plus community and decrease DeSantis' attack towards education where Black studies can't be taught in the school.
Shit, sound good to me. She sound like an ally to me. Sign her ass up.
No.
Richard Six said Whitefish for president, and April Branch Sneed said she's giving Marjorie Taylor Greene keys.
For sure.
Okay. Remember back in '97 when Mike Tyson bit off Evander Holyfield's ear? Remember that drama? Marlon Wayans gave us a recent update on how Holyfield has recovered. Marlon posted a picture of the back of Holyfield's head and wrote, "Yo, I'm at the fight. I'm sitting right behind Evander Holyfield. I must say, Mike Tyson bleeped this bleep ear up." Do you think this was distasteful, or is he just doing what comedians do, Q?
No, I think it was tacky. I've had to learn recently, taking pictures of people and posting them. Child, I've been taking pictures of people in public and posting them, and their grandchildren and kids and stuff follow me and get on my page cussing me out. It's not cool when the person can be identified and made fun of, and then especially as somebody in your same industry. I think what he did was a little distasteful.
Do you think it's okay, Al, because it's a public figure and we've all talked about it?
Hell no, I'm still mad at Marlon Wayans for that whole Alabama riverboat brawl debacle. Go somewhere and sit down, man. And I like you. It's not funny. You're still in timeout as far as I'm concerned. No, I don't like it.
All right. Well, coming up, is it okay to cheat on vacation? We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. All right, a woman from Glasgow, Scotland revealed that she cheats on a significant other while traveling abroad. She said, "I'll always cheat on holiday. The rules are different abroad, so it doesn't count." What are your thoughts on this? Al, I already know you're going to be fluid on this one. Al,
actually, you know what's so funny, Claudia? 67% of affairs take place during summer vacation. And guess who lied? Women are the most likely than men to cheat during summer vacation.
Lies, we innocent. What do you think? It's okay to cheat on vacation?
I don't know about the okay part, but if you are going to do it, that's the place to do it, because the likelihood of it getting back to your spouse and or to your hometown or your place of employment is slim to none. I could definitely say if I found out that my significant other had a sexual rendezvous with somebody out of the country, I would be upset, I would be hurt, but it probably wouldn't be a deal breaker. I could probably work through it.
Really?
Yeah, I could probably work through it.
I'd be mad. I'd be thinking, like, every time you go somewhere, are you going to do that again? Like, okay, is it only when you're out of the country? Is it when you go on a business trip for the weekend? I think it would really bug me. All right. Hey, a new mother called the police after catching her older sister breastfeeding her baby without permission. She claimed her sister also threw her all the formula milk and called it garbage. The woman said she was shocked in the moment, but now she wonders if calling the police was too harsh. Do you think this was a dramatic response, or she should have called the cops? Q?
So, I just for a little bit of context here, the mother that called the police, when she walked in on her sister breastfeeding the baby, she said that she actually was shocked, but she was kind of okay with it until the sister deemed the formula trash. And she found out that she threw away, I think it was like 20 cans of formula or some large amount of formula. Yeah, I think breastfeeding somebody's child is very intimate, right? I think it's very intimate on a sociological level. Now, if we're just looking at it on a purely biological level and sustenance, it's not that bad. We've got wet nurses. We know that the slave women fed the white women's babies back during slavery time, and we're mammals, and that's how mammals eat. But I do think it's a little rude to take your titty and stick it in somebody else's baby's mouth, especially if that mom is unable to breastfeed or doesn't want to breastfeed. There's just a lot with it. Now, as far as calling the police, I don't know. And it's also worth mentioning that the sister is mad with her and is not talking to her anymore, because she said that calling the police on her could have got her in trouble with her good government job, and she didn't want her name in the records. I probably would have fought my sister before I called the police on her, to be honest.
Me too. First of all, how dare you? Like, we get mad if your kid gets their hair done at school or cut or something like that. Breastfeeding another person's child, I don't care if it's a relative, without permission, I think, you should run that by the parent. That's not your child. Al, what do you think about this?
I kind of agree with you guys. The only thing I want to know here is, because there are cultures and countries that, this is not unfamiliar. This is something that families do. So I need to know their background, where they're from. Did their parents, did they witness this when they were growing up? Maybe, because it seems like a very, very awkward thing to feel comfortable doing. And then to throw away the formula is almost saying that you're not mothering that child correctly. And I know a better way. So I can see how she got offended. Unfortunately, though, calling the police was a bad thing to do, because police, this is out of their wheelhouse. There was no harm to the child. So they can come out, but nothing's going to happen. So I guess they need to figure it out. They probably should sit down and have a long talk about this.
Though. What if your sister does drugs or she got a disease and she got her titty in my baby mouth? I don't know you like that. I don't know what you do when I'm not around. Anyways, listen, we started the show talking about how we all just kind of found our way to wear the colors of the Zetas. And I guess we can call like an unofficial apology or an olive branch. Now, Al, you got some messages from some ladies?
I did.
Did they cuss you out? Did they get your ass?
No, they were actually very nice. So I'm going to say to Chrissy Mom 14, she said, Al, I'm a Zeta. I laughed my ass off. Not me, girl. She said, and then I said, I really apologize. She said, I laughed so hard. You're good, handsome. And then also Dee Dee said that she was a Zeta, or that her daughter played Zeta, and she thought the same thing, but she said, you backed out of that. Just stop. She said, I still got love for you for sure. So it didn't go over as bad as I thought, but I will say this, if I offended anyone with my comment, I wholeheartedly apologize.
But most likely we'll do it again. We will probably.
Al, I have to say something positive about Kappa Alpha Psi, and I can't believe I'm doing this on live television, but I have to give a special shout out to the brothers of Kappa Alpha Psi. They worked the car drop off this morning at Isaac's school.
Nice.
All the men of the fraternity, for Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity, they were out there doing the car drop off, and it just felt really good to see, especially with elementary school age, to see Black men out there, because you think of little children, you think of women nurturing them, but to see Black men out there doing it. So shouts out to the
strong, smart men of excellence, right? Strong, smart, good-looking men of excellence, protecting the youngins.
We're gonna end on that note before we get in trouble. Tomorrow is Q's birthday. I will be sharing.
No, Sunday is.
Well, we're gonna act like it's tomorrow so I can send you some cash apps. But we're gonna talk about that tomorrow. I want to thank Funky Dineva. Thanks for watching us on YouTube. Stay tuned for McMillan and Morrow. And we'll see you back here tomorrow. Bye, y'all.
See you later, soulmates.